if I told you that almost all men who try to get ripped never reach 12% body fat, you might think it's because they do not try hard enough, or because they are lazy, or maybe even because they have bad genetics. But today, I will show you 5 specific mistakes most guys make that is quietly killing their progress. If you avoid these mistakes, you will be in the top 3% of men who do make it. Stay with me for all 5 mistakes, because especially mistake number 3 is a sneaky and subtle one that most people miss entirely. Mistake number 1, eating too much early in the day. Let me paint you a scenario. It is 8 AM, you wake up hungry and you go all in on breakfast. Eggs, toast, juice, and maybe even a protein shake. No problem so far, right? Then lunch comes around, big plate of chicken and rice. By the afternoon, you are at your desk reaching for a snack. Because, well, why not? By the time dinner comes around, here's the kicker. You have already eaten around 2,000 calories, but the evening has not even started yet. So now what happens? You're watching TV, maybe working late, and the hunger creeps in, but your calorie budget already blown. So you try to have a tiny dinner, and 30 minutes later, the chips, cookies, and those spoons of peanut butter are calling your name. This is what I call front-loading your calories. It feels good early in the day, but it sets you up for failure later. I see this all the time in clients when we get started. The ones who succeed, they flip the script. They either fast in the morning or keep breakfast light and protein focused. That way, they save more of their calorie budget for the time it matters. Dinners with family, work events, or those late night cravings when willpower is lower. Now don't get me wrong, I'm not saying you must skip breakfast. Breakfast can be a powerful tool if you use it correctly. The goal is to make the first half of your day satiating but low in calories. And the science backs this up. A study by the University of Missouri found that a high-protein breakfast of 35 grams of protein with only 350 calories helped the participants feel more filled up throughout the day and to reduce their evening snacking. The breakfast was low-fat steak and eggs in this case. Another study out of a university in Denmark found that a high-protein breakfast in the form of skyr or low-fat yogurt kept the participants fuller for the rest of the day. So here's what to do. If you usually crush a massive breakfast, bring the calories down and the protein up. Aim for at least 20 grams of protein, but keep the calories of your breakfast below 20% of your daily calorie needs. Now let's move on to the second mistake, which is always changing your approach. Think of reaching 12% body fat as climbing a mountain. There are multiple paths leading to the top. Some are shorter, some are longer. But here's the truth, if you keep switching from path to path, you will never reach the desired destination. That's what happens when you bounce from keto dieting to intermittent fasting to low carb to high carb to a new training program every week. It's not that these methods don't work, it's that you don't give them the time they need to work. I've seen this countless times in my practice as a fitness coach. When someone finally commits to the fundamentals, think about a calorie deficit, resistance training, daily steps, and eating mostly whole foods, that's when real change happens. You don't even need the perfect approach, you need more consistency. And the science agrees. Research shows that adherence, sticking to your plan, regardless of what your plan is the #1 predictor of long-term fat loss success. It doesn't matter whether the diet is low carb or low fat. What matters is if you can follow it day by day while keeping the fundamentals in place. One of my online coaching clients, Nabil, is the perfect example. Before we started, he tried 3 different diets in 6 months and felt completely stuck. Once I simplified his plan, calorie target, protein goal, strength training, walking, and focused on repeating that week by week, the results came quickly. Another coaching client, Mac, leaned out the same way. No crazy hacks, just consistent fundamentals. So if you feel like you've been spinning your wheels, ask yourself, am I climbing the mountain or am I just changing my path every time it gets a little bit difficult? You do not need to keep hopping from one method to the next. What you actually need is one plan that's tailored to you. Your schedule, your food preferences, your training level, and the accountability to help you stick to it. That's exactly what I do inside my private online coaching service. I design the right plan for you and then make sure you follow through. So you stop wasting your time and finally see results like hundreds of my other clients. If that's what you need, visit the link in my description to apply. I will get back to you within 24 hours and we can schedule a call to discuss your goals. The third mistake is one that holds many guys back from getting seriously lean to 12% body fat. It's the fear of losing muscle. Here is what usually happens. You start cutting, you drop some body fat, and the scale goes down. But instead of seeing more definition, you start feeling smaller and skinnier. And in that moment, panic sets in. You start thinking, am I losing muscle? Maybe I should stop my diet before I get too skinny. But here's the truth. As long as you're in the gym, challenging your muscles, and you're eating enough protein, you are not losing muscle. You are just losing the fat that was covering it. Think of it like sculpting a statue. At first, you chip away at the block of stone and it does not look like much. But keep going and the shape underneath is starting to get revealed. And your body works in the same way. When I went down from 25% to 20% body fat, my body did not look that much different. I just felt smaller. This felt weird and I thought that I was losing muscle. But once I went from 20% to 15% body fat, I started to notice more definition. And then when I pushed to 12% body fat, I started looking more muscular than ever. Because now the underlying muscle is fully visible. Focus on having a 20 to 25% calorie deficit while having a protein intake that is at least 0.7 grams per pound of your goal body weight, and go to the gym to lift weights 3 to 4 times per week. If you do this, are seeing progress but you're starting to feel a little bit skinny, keep going, do not quit. You are not losing muscle. You are in the awkward middle stage of your fat loss journey in which the definition is not showing much yet. Like with my coaching client Adalai, only once we got to 13% body fat, the muscle development was a lot more noticeable than at 20% body fat. Let's now dive into the fourth mistake, which is what I like to call weekend sabotage. This is the sneakiest way most people ruin their fat loss progress. A study by the Washington University School of Medicine tracked the behaviors and calorie intake of adults on the weekend and on weekdays. From Monday to Friday, the participants steadily lost weight. But every weekend, their calories and body weight shot up. This pattern repeated over and over again. Their weekdays were in a deficit and the weekends were in a calorie surplus. The researchers concluded the following. Most people erase their weekday discipline with their weekend behaviors. It's like saving money for 5 days and then blowing your entire week of pay on Saturday and Sunday. So what do? Stop thinking of your weekends as your off days. If you know you have a dinner on Saturday, adjust. Perhaps fast in the morning and keep your lunch lighter, so you can enjoy that 1,000 calorie dinner with family. Secondly, move more, not less. Find activities that involve you walking more so you can hit a higher step count. I'm not telling you to stop enjoying your weekends. You do not have to be perfect to make progress. But just avoid the mindset of letting loose. If you can reasonably manage your weekends, your efforts on the weekdays will start paying off more. Mistake number 5 is one that catches up to even the most disciplined guys, and it's not accounting for metabolic adaptations. Here is what that means. When you first start being in a calorie deficit, progress almost feels easy. You clean up your diet, hit the gym more often, and the weight drops. So going from, let's say, 25% to 20% body fat feels straightforward. But as you get leaner and want to get to 12% body fat, the rules change. Your metabolism drops, spontaneous activity goes down, and hunger hormones go up. Suddenly, the same calorie deficit that worked before is not working anymore. Think of it like driving uphill. The gas pedal you used on flat ground gets you moving, but as the incline gets higher, you need more power. Essentially, what got you from point A to B will not get you to point C because the road has changed. And there is research showcasing this as well. A 2021 study found that after 8 weeks of dieting and losing 14 pounds, the energy expenditure of the participants decreased by an average of 150 calories per day. So if you ever felt like what got you lean is not working anymore, you are right. Your body has changed, and your strategy has to change with it. Here is how to manage metabolic adaptations. First, set refeed days or short diet breaks to reset hormones and give your body a break from the deficit. Do not see your fat loss journey as a straight line. Also have periods of maintenance within your calorie deficit season. Secondly, track your daily steps. Keep walking between 8 to 10,000 steps per day to avoid becoming less active as your body fat percentage drops. Thirdly, if your step count is in check, and you already did a couple of refeed days and had a maintenance week, but still your body fat is stubborn, reduce calorie intake by a small 10% to kickstart your fat loss progress again. The bottom line is, metabolic adaptations are normal. But it's also the reason most men quit before they see 12% body fat. If you know how to anticipate and adjust when metabolic adaptations happen, you will keep progressing. If you want help applying this the right way, that's exactly what I do inside my online coaching. I'll design your plan, then make the adjustments for you as you adapt so you never stall out. For professional guidance, apply at the link in the description. And that was all for today's video. I hope you have a better understanding of why most men do not reach 12% body fat and how you can be part of the exception. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments below. Also here above, I have an awesome new video for you, so go ahead and check that out. And I will see you in the next one.